There's a problem with Newcastle in Apex Legends, and most people haven't been able to see it yet. In fact, many of you may have wondered why Newcastle has fallen into a position of being one of the lower picked characters and hasn't been consistently approached by pros the same way that this character was at the very beginning of the season. If you're wondering why or what went wrong, take a look at this first.
Yeah, I'm going. I'm looking right. I will shoot backwards. Play this wall on the left.
Okay, right now, I have to heal. I have to med. That
I'm
looks
gonna
very
res.
Shitty on the team left.
I'm resing.
I have ult and nades.
Yeah, gas native, we're okay.
I'm gonna
split. I'm flipping my wall.
I'm gonna queue us up, okay, Al?
No.
Why
Dang
not?
it. Fucking dead.
It makes my cover unplayable. I need to shoot the left.
Need to hold.
You can rest me for cover.
I'm resing. I knocked one on the left, I think.
We have to focus off.
I'm moving my cover forward. Focus the dock.
Oh my god, I'm shitting on them. Stop res. Oh,
Never
God,
tell me
that's
that
crazy.
Newcastle's not insane, Zach.
Here, lower.
Now, many of you may have looked at that and gone, well, Newcastle looks pretty good to me. I'm not really sure why there was an issue with a pro like TSM FTX Albrelelli, one of the most famous and accomplished pros in all of Apex Legends history. 184,000 followers on Twitter. Go follow him there. 573,000 followers on Twitch. One of the best players playing him that well. But there's a small element in here that you probably missed, which has to do with some of the moments of counterplay. But I'll get into that in just a minute because it's a bigger picture as to why that counterplay is so important and how pros are going to have to utilize Newcastle if they actually want him to be effective. Before we get to that, though, I want to talk about why Albrelelli himself stopped switching to Newcastle in his ranked games. I know a lot of you aren't competitive pros, so this is what you care about most. Let's listen to his reasoning as to why he did that.
She's really good on Stormpoint. Specific reason for not playing Newcastle. I think that when we're trying to gain RP, as hard as I'm trying to gain RP, if I play Newcastle, I need it to be with a Gibraltar. I don't think I can get away with playing it without a Gibby if we're trying to actually like gain good RP. Bangalore is like right in the middle of Newcastle and Gibby, and like it's fitting my playstyle so well, and we're just shitting on people. Ideal third of Gibby and Bang, Valk. The third is always going to be Valk. There's no reason to not run Valk, and there's no reason to not run Gibby unless you're just not comfortable
I'm the
playing.
jump master.
What's my win rate right now?
So what he said right there is very, very important. I'm going to basically skip a little bit his win rate because I know you guys want to see it, but it's
This
not that
altitude, you
Honestly, okay, this might be cringe, okay?
Yeah.
I actually think that I might be doing so well with Bang because I'm kind of shooting my smoke between me and them and frying them. And then, like, obviously, unless they have a digi, they get fucked, right?
Yeah.
But even if they can see me, considering there's a fuck ton of Rolos,
Yeah.
once their aim assist is gone, little
Yeah.
Timmy ain't hitting me.
Cap, I have no problem.
Lil Timmy
Yeah, you guys are
ain't
fried.
hitting me. You see the way that he mentioned how valuable Bangalore is, and look at what map this is, Stormpoint. I've talked about this on my casting in the ALGS. We talk about it all the time. You can catch me casting with PlayStation on Tuesday on the 22nd or 21st, I believe, of this upcoming week. All of that just to say that the reason he left is because you have to have a third, which is a Valkyrie, and you have to have a Gibby. Now, why would you have to have a Gibby? It goes back to this first point where he says something to Zach that's very, very important. And Zach Mazer, one of the big pros in the Apex scene with Alp, watch this moment here. When he throws down the castle wall, they are in a position where Gibraltar would be able to give them full pressure. Now, Albrelelli gives himself a lot of momentum with this Newcastle, which is one of my favorite abilities. But notice right now, this is the caustic grenade. Now, this Nox grenade, unfortunately, makes Newcastle's very valuable defensive castle wall unplayable, and he mentions this here.
Okay, I'm gonna split. I'm flipping my wall.
I'm gonna queue us up, okay, Al?
No.
Why
Dang
not?
it. Fucking dead.
It makes my cover unplayable.
It makes my cover unplayable, and that is where Newcastle can get countered. And the problem is, if this is the only character that you have heading in to your final circle with no Gibby, you're screwed. So what do? You have to play a Gibby still, and you have to play a Valk for your rotation abilities. But where does Newcastle actually fit in? Because I know a lot of you don't just want to hear that there's a problem. Well, I have an idea that I've been presented because I used to cast hero shooters, and I think this is really where Gibby's going to be. We're going to talk, Newcastle is going to be. Also, if you guys are enjoying this video, leave a like and subscribe. I love hanging out and having these conversations with you. I don't think many people do these on the internet, especially with high-level play, so please support if you're enjoying. But there's a role called an off-tank. And I think that's exactly where Newcastle is going to have his bread and butter. But let's watch a little bit of this 20-kill game that Albert Lilly has for Newcastle to show you why this could work in an off-tank position and how successful Newcastle can be at giving something Gibby doesn't give to the game. While we break a little bit of this down, because this is just a masterclass in Apex Legends in general. We're gonna make sure this volume's just right there at the right spot. It's good to be back, guys. I missed you. I love you. A lot of good things coming behind the scenes. I'm excited. Can't share yet. Beautiful PK switch. Has the mobile shield here. And look at that. Essentially, there's a lot of similarities with how he's playing. Like Gibby. With that mobile shield. Are you... Woo.
Oh, shot.
Oh, been there, though. Oh, my God. Those first PK shots were so juicy. Man.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, somehow he's the only one who doesn't hit just a 9. He hits 99 every time. Oh, there it is. There's the 9. That's me. Rewind that. That's what I look like. Oh, my God. Another full freaking clip. What? This man is insane. 7 kills already. Now, look at this. Such a valuable use of mobility. Gibby cannot compete with that, right? So Newcastle clearly can do something, and what he's doing here is he's creating space for his team. Taking that high ground, being able to poke from high, means that everyone on the train tracks and in the building is now careful of coming into the space that he's controlling, the pressure that he's adding, the presence that he's showing, which is what they call it at high level, presence. And that allows the Octane and the Mirage to have much more freedom to be aggressive and to not get punished, because this presence that he's showing is opening up the space offensively, essentially doing the job of kind of an offense-defense approach. But there are issues. There are issues with this, too, and I want to kind of point out where these issues can come into play, because right here, that Gibby shield would have been much, much better in that kind of poke and peek fight, right? When he's not using his mobile shield, the Gibby shield naturally would have had a much better effective time trading there. And it'll make more sense towards the end game. But if you hit PK shots like that, you're not going to have too many problems. I mean, you can play pretty much any character. You can go in there with, Miss Bo Peep, and you'll basically be hitting 20 bombs if you shoot PK shots like that. I know we're all trying to get there. Let's also talk a little bit about loadouts right now. You're noticing Wingman PK. I think for a character like Newcastle, it's going to be, something like a Wingman PK. It's going to be something like a Flatline PK. I think a car is really good. It's very short range, though. And with Newcastle's flexibility, I think you want more flexible weapons and close range punish. I think 301's a little slow for his playstyle. I like the mobility on the Wingman. Remember, no ADS penalty on that weapon and on most pistols. One of the rare things why it's good. You got to be careful for the tether. Ash is a really big counter to Newcastle because he relies on his mobility, and that tether actually will stop his ultimate. It will shut his ultimate down. Be very, very careful if you're facing against an Ash. But 12 seconds left. He's got no abilities here. He's stuck. This is just time to play good fundamentals. Use cover. And reposition. He's out in the open here. He could get punished by that lifeline if she actually looked at him, but she was fighting someone else. These grenades could hit. Oh my goodness, man. Mac, are you serious? The Wingman play is just outrageous. Part of it is the TTK. Now look at, he's kind of in front, right? He's leading the charge. You have an Octane, you have a Mirage. there's kind of this interesting element to, obviously this is a pub game, but he's leading the charge on the Newcastle, and I think that's where, in a moment, I'm going to break down why this Octane thing I think could work, and how I would love to see you guys in your games playing a little bit of Newcastle. And really how I think pros are going to incorporate it. I really think that's going to be the key. "16 kills. Holy moly. Don't stand still. Oh my God, do not stand still. Oh my God, don't run away. What can he do? He can't stand still, he can't run away. Raynday, what's the game plan, brother? Don't get in the game with Alberlelli. That's it. That's the game plan. Hope you guys are picking up some juice right now. Shield swap, immediate pressure. You got 2 down. You still got another squad though. This must be a solo. My. That PK, dude. Almost a 4K. Feels like he's done so much more damage, but that's the thing. He's been so lethal, and that's why I think this kind of approach with Newcastle, it's not this R301 kind of 7K, 10K, it's Timmy kind of game that you might see, right? This is all about fast, effective decision-making. Now, the way that he played from this position really allows him to be aggressive, but I want to show you the difference between what we just saw there and what happens in ranked, because you're not going to see the negatives of that approach right now. Here's the big part of this video and kind of what I'm going to leave you guys to look at while you watch the next couple of minutes of this, because it's really, really important. In high-level situations, you're still needing somebody to hold down a situation, because it's all about rotating and it's all about basically creating space and presence in in-game circles so that you are not the one team getting targeted. Gibby allows you to apply offensive pressure and hold defensively better than Newcastle, and ultimately because of that has a harder time getting countered by other legends that are going to be out there. To play Newcastle means you've got to play it with Gibby, and this is a new way that we're looking at Apex, which is a defensive legend taking a ton of attention away from the main tank, who isn't as aggressive, is more objective-focused and team-focused, while this off-tank, it's something in Paladins we like to talk about, an off-tank will come around and be a big body, a huge piece of damage, a hard-to-kill character with a ton of defensive utility, but then take a lot of attention away from the offensive players on the other team. Meaning, you can't just focus the main tank. You can't just shoot Gibby because Newcastle's in your face, being aggressive, having presence, buying time with a shield, buying time with the castle wall, jumping into your back line, forcing you to be separate from your team, turn back around, and it's opening up space for the Gibby and the Valkyrie, the Gibby and the Horizon, to do what they need to do. And that's where I think Newcastle can fit in. But I want you guys to see the pros and cons here as we watch this as well, because this is the high level. This is the Apex Predator. Very different tone. Let's listen to these comms.
Cracked.
Nade. 1 EP, 1 EP, 1 EP, 1 EP.
Nice.
I'm gonna see one. I'm landing on the rock.
They're queuing.
It's a Horizon.
Behind us. They're behind us. They're behind us. Hold on.
2 times,
One
man.
feed
That's tough. I can't hit those.
I'm ulting the kind. I'm ulting the kind.
Just combine.
34.
Yeah, I put it behind us. We're safe from
Passing it
here.
open. GB. Crack GB.
Nade.
100 blue on GB.
Just batting still.
I think that Horizon's their teammate.
Yeah, there it is. I'm ulting forward. I'm standing.
Gibby's on blue.
Yeah, he's running.
I'm running forward.
Yep.
They're back ulting around the corner. No angle. Yeah, we gotta go back to third side again.
Valve. Cracked Valve.
Ooh, he hit 3. Oh my God.
Okay. I'll just come back to first, yeah.
Oh, they're gone.
Bro, that time he could have. I literally just stood still and popped 3 bats in the same corner. Like, fucking hell, dude.
How was their teammate so far?
So right now he's playing with Alliance
We
Hockeys,
should
which
probably
is
go
one of the best
outside
European
this one,
players
barometer.
in the world,
bad.
an
Is
in-game
that a
leader
team?
for Alliance, if you didn't get it.
Yeah,
And the
this one
Kind,
was
who's a really great ranked
yeah,
player.
right behind
He's
me,
played
right
with a
behind me.
lot of these pros for a long time. I think
Full
he actually
squad.
might have been in the ALGS
Too close.
briefly.
I'm
I'm not
ulting,
sure
I'm
what
ulting
his status is now, but a really, really solid team.
I'm stuck him.
All right,
I'm batting.
it's huge interactions here.
I'm sliding forward.
You've got Seer, Gibby ult, Caustic.
I'm ulting on this guy.
Now look at this
swinging left
space.
here.
So as they have the Caustic behind them, the space created with the castle wall allows them to play behind it and force that team into a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation.
New team shooting at us.
Do we help our teammate? Do we push
Yeah,
past the castle wall and give them the advantage while we push into cover? Or now we're just isolated and we accept that we're
Gibby
outnumbered?
ulti left and send it. Like, we just gotta... Wait, there's something happening. Can we look now? They're fighting right. Can we look left?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Wait for Horizon.
So this is where
Close on me, back.
notice
Queue up the ulting.
Two
Okay,
above.
queued up
On the
ulting.
left.
the aggressiveness.
Yeah, nailed the bubble.
You can't survive this
Right there.
defensive bombardment without the bubble. That's why you need the Gibby.
Fuck shit on him. Fuck that.
Arms up this guy.
Get it, Con.
And look at him, on an island, going in, knowing he's got the defense, knowing he's got those tools, still saves the ultimate.
I'll make us cover.
Big swing, look at this.
We
Now,
have a
let's
spot,
get
we
out
have
in
a
front,
spot, get to the
boys.
wall. The rocks are in
I'm
too.
queuing,
The rocks are better if you can play that.
They're fighting. We gotta move up. Move up right, Dub. Move up right if we can.
Okay.
Like in
They're
battle,
fighting.
leading the Vanguard. That's where Newcastle's at. Even if he doesn't use it, it's there. They've got their left angle handled.
I'm
Just play
looking
on
at
me.
Con. I'm trying to help Con. I shit on him, Con. They're good.
Kai, maybe an early bubble there.
Looking right now.
He was a little worried he was going to get caught, and that's fine.
Lock of 50 on me.
Val pressing in, missed the PK shot. Really, really tough. But look at this right here, right here,
Just hold left, Con.
right
Hold left,
here.
Con.
If that team down below has a Newcastle and no Gibby, they're dead. Because there's thermites and grenades
I'm
raining
queuing
in.
them. They're gonna have to run. They're dying. Shoot the middle one.
Look at me.
80 on DB.
Give me one.
They're dead again if they don't have a Gibby.
Back dead.
Valk 80, or Blood 80.
Bubble on the guys below us. We can thirst.
Yeah.
5 seconds.
They're gonna rush.
Moving up.
I'm gonna slide off.
130 on Gibby.
This team comp is dangerous, man.
This guy below us.
I like Horizon too. Really underrated in my
They're running
opinion.
on me. He's behind the lockdown or something.
Play slow, Con.
No, I'm swinging
I'll
this
never
shit.
peek you.
No, I died.
Play slow. Dead.
79 on Blood.
You guys have shield. You have shield here. He's in shield.
Good on.
Dead.
All dead here.
I don't know where the last guy is. He's hiding somewhere.
You better stay hiding, brother. I don't think it's working out this time around.
Crack them. Nice.
And the Cute Boys Club
When there was 2 dead,
takes the championship. Now notice, like I said, why not just Newcastle? This moment right here, these moments like this mean that Newcastle cannot be the only soul tank. It cannot replace Gibby. And ultimately, I think people hoped that Newcastle could be the new defensive legend to change the meta and to get Gibraltar out of there. But unfortunately, moments like this showcase why a circular dome that protects you from everything is just better most of the time, especially when playing in high ground and competitive circles, than something that's going to only block you horizontally and slightly vertically, but it's going to leave your team exposed. You have to play Newcastle with someone else, but this might be the lineup that makes sense. Or add that Valk instead of the Horizon. Ultimately, that's the problem with Newcastle, but I think it's actually kind of a nice change, and maybe will allow us to see a more aggressive defensive style of play in Apex that really shifts the meta up competitively or in your ranked games. As always, thanks so much for watching. Never give up, never stop gaming. I'll see you all next time. Let me know what you think in the comment section below.